Nobody wins when the family feels.
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And I can't go like Mitch in the hallway.
It's a singer, he won't smoke shit. You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here.
Multiple shootings, which killed 2 people, injured 1 police officer in Harvey. That chaos started outside of a nightclub.
All the circumstances and details around, these accusations. What I do know, though, is that Lil Durk's mission to build financial literacy for children across the city and making other critical investments for the children of the city is where his heart, has been. And I mean, there's no secret to the trauma that he grew up in and how he has worked to turn that trauma into opportunities for other people.
The feds got an over 90% conviction rate, but a huge part of that come from 80% taking a plea. Then you got Chicago rapper Lil Durk, who went to 20% that's taking it to trial. So you expect all the tricks to be played, and that's what the feds doing today. Last week, the Chicago rapper lawyer had came out and said the murder for hire charges are bogus. Basically, it's no real evidence. Now, the day of Lil Durk hearing, it seemed they come out and connect him to another murder for hire. But they didn't charge him. They just talking about him being mentioned in this murder for hire alleged plot. Now that comes in 2022 with a young man we'll later discuss who allegedly, according to the feds, was retaliation for Lil Durk's brother who lost his life just months prior, who we also go over later in the video. Today we go over that case on this new murder for hire that the feds is trying to connect Lil Durk. We also see where we stand today and take a look at the 2 people who's been arrested for that murder going on a year now. So before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Grammy Award winning artist Lil Durk has an older brother named Dante Banks, who's also known as D-Thang. D-Thang allegedly lived in Chicago, Gresham's neighborhood. In 2021, D-Thang was 32 years old when he went to a club named Club O. It was June 7, 2021. The club was located on the 1700 block of S. Hosted Street. According to a Harvey police officer, he heard gunfire and noticed a person with a gun at the club. As he got closer to the club, he heard more gunfire and an altercation, when suddenly he saw D-Thang get shot. Then the officer got hit. D-Thang didn't survive. May he rest in peace. 11 condolences to his family. The officer was in good condition. A day that allegedly was get back the same day, I think that was false. He was identified as Seneca Prince, 39 years old, and he was shot to death on the 100 block of West 155th Street in Harvey, Illinois, as mentioned. But here's the thing. His wife made a GoFundMe, and the details in that GoFundMe let it be known this ain't had nothing to do with Lil Durk. She said that Harvey PD brought a group of young individuals to her house so that her husband, Seneca, could identify them for an incident earlier that night. She said they were ultimately released and came and killed her husband. So if it was retaliation, it was for what a Harvey police officer did. But now in December of 2024, the feds coming out and saying that Lil Durk is connected to real revenge 7 months later after D-Thang lost his life. January 27, 2022, 2 men were accused of plotting, along with others who wasn't identified at the time, to murder Stefon Mack in exchange for money. Prosecutors said Mack was shot and killed by a gunman who got out of a car and opened fire on him as he walked out of the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located on the 420 West 100th Street, on the afternoon, January 27, 2022. May Mack rest in peace. 11 condolences to his family. But it wouldn't come until almost 2 years later, when authorities were making arrests. November 30th, 2023. Anthony Montgomery Wilson, also known as AJ, and Mike City AJ, and Preston Powell, also known as Marley. Now fam, it's important you guys know this. Mack wasn't arrested for D-Thang's murder. So if he did it, only he would know that and the people close around. But what we do know is Mack did affiliate himself with people who was known enemies of Lil Durk.
No, you would bite him. Oh yeah. We got them just. That's what I'm talking about. That bitch be playing. Last time.
When you gotta get your girlfriend, you gotta be faithful, bro.
I got a girlfriend
on
that
album. You gotta get like me. You gotta get like me. You got
girlfriend on that album. I'm out of that though, G.
Now, according to Anthony and Preston Powell indictment for the demise of Mack, this how it went down. Now, Stefon Mack, as we mentioned, lost his life January 27, 2022. He was known as Youngin. He was shot and killed outside the Youth Peace Center of Roseland. According to the website, YPC is a non-profit organization offering youth-related workshops that mentor teens and teach youth the skills necessary to avoid conflict of his violence. According to records and information obtained from YPC, at the time of his death, Mack was a YPC participant. Based on the video surveillance footage obtained from YPC, at 2:22 p.m., Mack was still inside YPC, a 2014 black Chrysler 300 sedan with tinted windows, driven and occupied by the shooters, into YPC's parking lot. The Chrysler was initially parked on the east side of the parking lot facing YPC, but at approximately 2:25 p.m., the Chrysler moved to the west side of the parking lot facing eastward. The shooters remained in the Chrysler for approximately 40 minutes, apparently waiting for Mack to leave YPC. Based on video surveillance footage obtained by YPC, Mack exited YPC and began to walk across the parking lot towards his car at around 2:59 p.m. Two individuals emerged from the Chrysler, one from the driver's side door, shooter A, and the other from the front passenger side door, shooter B. They began shooting at Mack, who fled eastbound away from the shooters. Based on video surveillance footage obtained from YPC as well as the crime scene reports provided by Chicago Police Department, shooter A pursued Mack on foot. After crossing the parking lot, shooter A shot Mack from a distance. Mack eventually collapsed on the other side of the nearby train tracks. Shooter A ran over to Mack and shot him and killed him. Based on video surveillance footage from a nearby community center and residence, after killing Mack, shooter A fled eastbound on foot away from YPC. Shooter A proceeded southbound to 111th Street and then eastbound to 111th Street. Around that time, an individual was observed walking around the backyard of a vacant residence located at 318 West 111th Street. Based on records and information provided by the Chicago Police Department, later that day, law enforcement recovered a Ruger AR-556 pistol bearing serial number 858-61994 in the backyard of a vacant residence located at 318 West 111th Street. And after running ballistics on that firearm, it was the same firearm used to take out the life of Mack. Now, shortly after the shooting, YPC's security guard stepped outside into the parking lot and was shot in the leg by shooter B. After shooting the security guard, shooter B fled westbound from YPC on foot. The shooters abandoned the Chrysler in YPC's parking lot. Now, apparently, one of the shooters had a Facebook called Slammed You Out. They noticed that when one of the suspect's moms was contacted by the FBI and was trying to contact her son. And this is where, allegedly, Lil Durk come in, like the first allegations from the first indictment. Text messages alluding that Lil Durk is on the opposite side of those text messages when asked about compensation for these murders. In Lil Durk warrant application and probing Mack's death, federal investigators analyzed jail phone calls, social media postings, and firearm purchases, as well as lyrics from Lil Durk's song, Aha, released about a month after the shooting.
Won't smoke shit. You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here.
The warrant application goes on to say Montgomery, Wilson, and Powell may have exchanged text messages concerning payment of Mack's murder. Montgomery Wilson was arrested on unrelated charges a few weeks after Mack's death. A detective with the New Lenox Police Department then applied for and was granted a warrant to search the contents of his cell phone. Investigators then discovered a two-person text message conversation that mentioned OTF, which is the label founded by Lil Durk. Prosecutors have linked the alleged murder-for-hire plot in Los Angeles. On February 10, 2022, one of the people in the text conversation asked, "What's up with OTF?" To which the other person responded, "Nothing." 8 days later, in the same conversation, another text message read, "Did Durk give you that money?" End quote. And that was it, fam. And if it's just that, we see why they ain't indict him yet. But fam, that goes to show you how they play. It's a dirty game out here. As of now, they trying to connect two murders on Lil Durk. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to say Cash is next. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. But this was the latest on the controversy between Lil Durk being locked up on murder for hire. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.